The Miami Dolphins are heading into the 2026 season with what experts are calling one of the worst wide receiver rooms assembled in the NFL in recent memory. And at the exact same time, one of the most dangerous deep threats in the entire league is sitting in New England, quietly being pushed off the depth chart, reportedly asking for a way out, and available for what amounts to a late-round pick. His name is Kayshon Boutte. And if the Miami Dolphins do not pick up the phone and make this call, it will be one of the most inexcusable missed opportunities of this entire offseason. This is not a rumor. This is not wishful thinking. The market on Kayshon Boutte is real, it is heating up, and Miami needs to be right in the middle of it. If this kind of Dolphins breakdown gets your blood pumping the way it gets ours pumping, hit that like button right now, share this video with every Fins fan you know, and subscribe so you never miss a trade alert or roster update from us. Now let us set the stage, because you need to understand exactly how we got here. The New England Patriots went out this offseason and completely reshaped their wide receiver room. They traded for A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles in what was a blockbuster move. Brown immediately becomes the unquestioned number one option in that offense. Then the Patriots turned around and signed Romeo due to a 4-year deal in free agency, locking in their number two. Suddenly Kayshon Boutte, who was the Patriots' top outside receiver all of last season, finds himself buried on the depth chart with Mac Hollins, Demario Douglas, and Kyle Williams all competing for the scraps. His role did not shrink. It practically disappeared overnight. Now here is where it gets interesting. Boutte skipped New England's voluntary OTA practices entirely this spring. He was not there. When a guy who is entering the final year of his rookie deal, who needs a big season to cash in, decides to stay away from the facility during the off-season program, you know something is going on beneath the surface. And then Adam Schefter confirmed it on his own podcast. He said flat out that Boutte has shown interest in being traded because he wants a real role on a football team, not a bit part behind two receivers who will dominate every target opportunity available. Schefter said he expects something to happen with Boutte before or during training camp. That is not speculation. That is one of the most connected reporters in the sport telling you this trade is coming. Boutte did show up for mandatory minicamp, and when reporters asked him about the trade rumors, he gave them the good soldier answer. He said he wants to be in New England for the rest of his career. He said Boston is home, and maybe on some level he means that. But you do not skip voluntary workouts and generate this level of trade buzz if everything is perfectly fine between you and the organization. The subtext is loud. Boutte wants out. So this is where Miami needs to step in. And here is the most important question every single Dolphins fan should be asking right now. Drop your answer in the comments below. If the asking price is a 5th or 6th round pick, do you make this trade today? Or do you take your chances with the rookies? Because Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated reported back in the spring that the Patriots are looking for a day 3 pick in return. A 5th or 6th round selection. That is it. That is the asking price for a player who last season posted 551 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns in just 14 games while averaging 16.7 yards per reception. Dan Graziano from ESPN has since confirmed that New England has received calls from multiple teams on Boutte and that the Patriots may wait until closer to training camp to maximize their return. Which means the window to get ahead of this and land him at a discount is right now. Let us talk about what Boutte actually brings to the table on the football field, because the raw numbers barely scratch the surface of how good this guy was last year. His completion percentage over expectation when targeted by Drake May was plus 21.2%, which was the best mark in the entire NFL. Drake May's passer rating when throwing it Boutte down the field on passes of 20 yards or more was 143.8, best in the league. Boutte had the second best average depth of target among all qualified receivers in football. His yards per catch ranked 3rd in the NFL. And when May and Boutte connected deep down the field, it happened at a rate that was genuinely unprecedented. 12 times on 20 deep targets they connected in the regular season alone, producing 6 touchdowns and 340 deep yards. These are not the numbers of a complimentary role player. These are the numbers of a legitimate weapon. And right now, the Miami Dolphins have absolutely nobody on their roster who can do what Kayshon Boutte does. Think about who is actually on this team at wide receiver. Jalen Tolbert is a solid veteran signing, but he is a possession receiver, not a deep threat who defenses have to panic about. Tutu Atwell has legitimate speed, but has never been a truly consistent producer when it matters. Malik Washington is a tough, dependable slot-type receiver. None of these guys strike fear into his secondary. Caleb Douglas is a raw rookie from Texas Tech who needs developmental time before he becomes a reliable starter. And then there is Chris Bell, who might legitimately be the most exciting young receiver in this draft class when he is fully healthy. The problem is he is not fully healthy. Bell tore his ACL back in November of last season, and the most optimistic timeline has him returning sometime in October. So Miami starts this season without the one receiver everyone was genuinely excited about. And they go into those first few weeks of the year with a wide receiver room that ESPN's Bill Barnwell described as the worst he has seen assembled on purpose by an NFL team in recent memory. That quote has been making the rounds, and it stings, but you simply cannot ignore it when looking at this roster. This is exactly the situation that a Kayshon Boutte trade was made for. He does not just upgrade this room. He transforms it. He becomes the clear number one option from day one. He immediately gives Malik Willis a genuine deep threat to work with, a guy who demands safety attention over the top and opens up everything underneath for the running game and the slot. He is only 24 years old. He is entering a contract year, which means he is going to play with maximum motivation all season long. And with Miami projected to have approximately $100 million in cap space heading into 2027, you bring Boutte in, you evaluate the fit for one full season. And if he delivers, you extend him with that space and lock him in as a cornerstone of this offense for the next 3 or 4 years. If for some reason it does not work out, you spend a late day 3 pick and you move forward. The risk is almost zero. The potential reward is enormous. There is one legitimate question that hangs over this. Will New England trade Boutte within the AFC East? Teams are always cautious about arming division rivals. But here is the reality. The Patriots are clearly in a win-now mode with Drake May, A.J. Brown, and Romeo Doubs already assembled. They do not need Kayshon Boutte. They need picks and roster flexibility. And if Miami is willing to offer fair compensation and the Patriots believe this deal makes sense, division concerns will not stop it from happening. The NFL is a business first, always. Miami holds 2 fifth-round picks in the upcoming draft, including one acquired through a previous trade. They can absolutely make this deal happen without gutting their draft capital or compromising their flexibility heading into the next few years. This is a low-cost, high-upside move that fits the timeline, fits the need, and fits the new regime's philosophy of finding undervalued players and putting them in a position to succeed. The Dolphins need a wide receiver. There is one right there, available right now, at a price that is almost laughably favorable. The call to New England needs to happen, and it needs to happen before someone else beats them to it.